I think by now everyone already has their text editor ready. If anyone is having any problems, feel free to just type it in the chat and we'll try getting back to you. So I guess let's begin. Yeah, so first of all, please just start creating like a folder on your desktop or whatever file you want, and just name it workshop or my website, just so that all of your website is contained inside of one folder. Right. Yeah. Once all of that is done, just create a new text document. For that, you just right-click and press text document. And then once you have your text document created, you just right-click it again and press rename. This time, I would ask you to change the name of the document exactly to index.html, so that the website can recognize it as an HTML file. All right, so yeah. Okay, now if Federico could, can I ask you to just put in the chat the code for the next slide, please? So yeah, so right now we're going to give you guys just a pretty basic version of the code of what a website looks like. And I would ask that you guys just put it into your folder on the index.html. Right, that's a bit big, Federico, but
it's fine.
But yes, so basically this is the basic structure of an HTML file. It's already divided by the head and body, so you guys don't have to worry about that. On the head, I would ask you guys to change the title to whatever you want your website to be. It can just be your name, or it can be pretty much anything that you want. Then in the body, highlighted as green, we have just a comment just to demonstrate how you can do comments in HTML. What do I mean by a comment? So basically, the text that you see at green on my screen, it won't be read by the website. So you can write whatever you want there. It's never going to actually appear on the website. It's just so that you can take notes for yourself. Then also change where it says your name to your guys' name, and maybe write a little text about you. It can be something just as what my name is whatever, and I'm studying whatever degree you guys are studying. Then I know that not everyone has a photo of themselves right on the spot, so I prepared, I already put a little link to a random photo generator, so don't worry about that, and later you can change that to a photo of yourself if you want, but for now you can leave it like that. Yeah, much better, Federico. Thank you. So yeah, could I just get a thumbs up from everyone in the chat when you guys are done with it, so I could move on to the next slide? and start explaining the rest of the things. Okay, right. I see a lot of thumbs. Yeah, okay. All right. So here's a little description of all the tags that we are using on that text. So as I said, the title tag, it's where you guys define the title of the document. There is the, in this case, we use the H1 tag where you put, where you have to put your name, right? That defines that bit of text as a heading. So H1 is the biggest one you can get, and it to H6, which is the smallest heading you can get. The P tag defines a paragraph, so usually it's what you use to write texts. And then the image tag, it's what you use to insert an image into your website. Yeah, as it says here in this case, it requires two attributes, so a source, so this can be a website, so the link to that image online, or it can be a path to the image on your specific machine. But more towards the end, we'll explain you guys how to change the image and all of that. And then there's also the ALT. That's what that basically means is that's a description of what your image is supposed to be. So in the case of someone accessing your website and they have a slow internet or their computer doesn't support images, they will just see that text instead of the image, so that people understand why there is a blank space there. You can also have attributes, a lot of attributes. Some of the ones that we're using is the width and the height of the image, so you can change that around and it will make the image look funny, and just you can squeeze it or stretch it as you guys like. Now going on to executing the file. So you just have to select the file that you just created, the index.html, and you have to right click it, or in case it already appears as a little browser icon, it can be Google Chrome, Firefox, Safari, whatever browser you guys are using. You can just double click. If not, I would ask you guys to right click and then press open with or open as, and then select the browser. Alternatively, you guys can also just drag the file into a browser and it should also open. And now you guys should be seeing something like this. Your image is probably different because, as I said before, it's random image generator. So it's every time that you refresh the page, it's going to be a different image. Could I just get a confirmation that everyone is managing to do this so far? Did you manage to open the website? Okay, so yeah, we already got some confirmations. Maybe let's wait a bit more. If anyone is having any problems, also feel free to just type in the chat or just unmute yourself and just ask the questions. We'll try to help.
Hi, I can open the website, but there's nothing showing up on the screen.
Oh. Right. That's odd. Did you save the file after you input the code?
Yeah, I saved it as index.html.
Okay.
Have you copied the code from the chat?
Yeah.
Okay. Which one, the big one or the small characters?
The big one.
Okay, try with the small one.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
Also, something that it might be as well is you might have forgotten to save on the text editor. So every time you change something, you have to go to File and press Save.
Oh my god, I think that was it.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Oh, okay, you're welcome. I guess now we can move on to the next part. So yeah, now that you guys already have like the basic website, what else can we add here? We can add like multiple pages, maybe an about you guys page or contact us, so that people know more about you and how to contact you. For this, just feel free to just duplicate the file that you already have, or just create a new file all along and name them about.html and contact.html. I promise you guys that this is the last time that you're doing files. After, there will be no more file creations, I think. All right, so now let's move on. So now we're going to talk about how to add a menu. So a navigation menu so that you can navigate between all of those websites, all of the different pages that you just created. I'm just going to pop the code into the chat. Or Federico already did it. Yes, thank you. So yeah, just you can just copy the part from the navbar, so between the two navbar tags, and just add it above what you already have. And that way you don't have to write the text about you and change your name again. Basically what this is going to do is it's going to create a menu so you can navigate between all of your web pages. So you can go from the index to the about page, the contact page. And it should look something like this now. All right, so far no one has any problems. Can we keep going? All right. Yeah, just a side note. Here, if you guys just change the code on the index page, so the main page, the home page, the code won't update to all of the other pages. You have to do that manually. So you would have to copy your code and just put it on the other files as well to make sure that you can navigate between each different files. So each one has to have the code for the menu. But you guys can do that later because we're going to change those files later on. And for now, just stay on the index.html. If you accidentally click one of the other two, just go back and it should take you back to the index page. Yeah, so now we're going to talk about styling your page. So now that we have a basic page going on, let's try to make it look a bit better. As I said, we're not going to be talking about how to use CSS on this workshop. So instead of going through everything from the beginning and explaining you guys how to use CSS, we're going to use a CSS library called Bootstrap. So it provides you guys with already predefined styles so you can just apply quickly to your code and make your website look much better. Bootstrap is a free-to-use library. As I said, it makes it much easier for beginners to implement styles and to organize your websites the way you guys want to. The only con with this is that you can't really do everything, but it pretty much covers most of the ideas that you might have that you want to do in your website. So yeah, for now it will do, and in the future, if you guys want to do something more specific, we'll go into it in a next workshop. Yeah, so in order to add Bootstrap, we're also going to add some metadata to your website. So feel free to just copy this and just replace your head tag for all of this code. Basically, what I'm saying here is the first line where you define the char set. So that's the set of characters that you're using on your website. In this case, it's UTF-8. That's the standard for European English kind of languages. They use the, right, I'm not sure which alphabet it is, but the English alphabet, I guess. Depending on if you want to have other language characters like Chinese characters and other languages like that on your website, you would have to try searching which char set you want to use. So for you guys, it wouldn't be UTF-8 anymore. It would be something else that also has those characters that the website knows how to read them. Then we also do we also have an author meta. So there you guys just write your names. So that's this tells search engines or other websites who made this website. And then there's a description where you can just write a small description about what your website is and what you want it to do. So you can just say, oh, this is my blog or this is my portfolio. And this will just help people who are searching for your website on Google, for example, to just be able to read the description and know what the website is about and make it much more clickable. And then, as you guys can see, we have a link tag. That is linking to a website where Bootstrap has hosted their own code. So this allows you guys to just go there and steal the code and then use it on your website. Can I just get a thumbs up in the chat if everyone managed to do this without a problem? Oh yeah, so yeah, there could be a problem with your code. Just make sure that the quotation marks are actual quotation marks, because sometimes when we copy it from Google Slides, it changes it to some weird sort of quotation marks, and it might make your website look weird. All right, I guess everyone managed to do this. After you're done with this, let's take advantage of what we just added, so Bootstrap, and now I would ask you guys to just copy the code this time, because I'm going to go through the code and explain you step by step what we did here, but we are pretty much just using the classes that Bootstrap provides us with, and that's just going to help our website look much better and have stuff more defined. If I could just get a thumbs up when everyone is done putting the code into their website so I can explain. Right, now if everything worked well, you guys should be seeing something like this with a much more defined menu on top of your website. Feel free to just save your code and refresh the web page. Right, so now I'm just quickly going to explain what each class that we just added to your code does. You guys don't have to memorize any of this. This is something that you can, usually you just search for it at the time, since it's something that Bootstrap did themselves. You just go on their website and search how to do something, and they'll show you like the code that you need to input. In this case, we used a class container. The class container basically just helps contain the elements inside of invisible container. It helps adding margins to the site so that all of your content is more centered towards the middle. We also use the class navbar. It's just the default class from Bootstrap to apply the navbar style. So having all the elements side by side with clickable buttons, etc. The navbar expand MD. This just defines how your text is expanded or contracted depending on your screen size. So for example, if you open this website on a phone or a laptop with a smaller screen, that's the class that's going to define how your website looks on those devices. Navbar light, that pretty much just defines the theme from Bootstrap. It's just a light theme, so the background is all white and all the text in black. You guys can later you can like just mess around with it. There's multiple different themes that you can do, and it will just change the entire navbar. the navbar brand. That's where you guys have currently have your name there. Supposedly you should have your name there. You can put images, you can put texts, you can pretty much put anything that you want there. It's just something that represents your brand or yourself. Then we have the navbar nav. It's just a class that allows for pretty much just the orientation of the items, and that forces them into being side by side, because by default lists tend to be one item stacked upon the other, and this just switches that so that you can have them side by side. The ML outwith just defines the margins from left and right side to automatic. An nav item is just to define each one of those buttons that you have on your navbar, and it just styles them to look like the buttons. The class active, this is an important class. So depending on your navbar item, if you put the class active inside the code, what it will mean is that that button is going to be highlighted so you can show that that's the page where the person is on at the moment. And then you have the nav link that's just styled to remove the underline they usually have on links on websites. So it just removes the blue ugly underline from the tab. So yeah, as I said, this is what your website should look like right now. Yeah, don't forget to update the code on the other pages as well, as yeah, so that the menu is the same all throughout your pages. Because right now, if you press on the About Me or the Contact page, your menu is going to look much different if you haven't put the Bootstrap and changed the code yet. Now let's move on to adding icons. So nowadays, everyone has social icons on their websites. This is an easy way to add icons. So we are basically using a Font Awesome. That's just an online library that gives you free icons. All you guys have to do is insert this line saying script source, whatever their website is, and then finish the script line. Yeah. After you guys are done with changing that line of the script, we're going to actually make some changes in the code. Yeah, so here we couldn't fit the entire code of the navbar, so I had to just delete it and write navbar. Ignore that part. But yeah, just focus on everything that is after your name and description and the photo. What you want to copy is the A class BTN. Basically, what we're doing is we are creating small buttons and we are filling them up with social icons. So in this case, you have the Facebook icon, the Instagram icon, and the Twitter. Feel free to, on the href field, just put in your Facebook there, your Instagram, your Twitter, so that it links to your account instead of to our account. And yeah, just let me know when you guys are done with it and if you have any problems. After you guys are done with this, your website should look something like this. As you guys will be able to see, you can just press on those icons and it will take you to your pages. Can I just get you guys to confirm on the chat if everything worked out for you? All right, so we have 1 thumbs up. All right, so now that you already have a website that's looking like a bit more like a more modern website, I think it's time that we just clean a bit your website. So if you guys change, there isn't much to change here. All you guys have to change is insert those 2 BR tags and the center tag at the top over your the heading where you used to have your name, and maybe just switch your name to hello instead, so that you don't have your name 2 times in a row. And also don't forget to close the center tag at the end, so that your code, it's always important to, whenever you open a tag, to always close it, so that it doesn't just keep applying those same effects all the way down your website. That way you contain it to just the area that you want it to. Now that you've changed the code, your website should be looking a bit like this, hopefully. All right, and yeah, I guess we are getting, it's already time to finish this workshop. I don't want to keep you guys here for the entire night. After this, we'll just ask you guys if you have any questions, or do you want to give us some feedback on how did it go, what you would prefer for future workshops? Also, Darius, are you here? Or...
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, do you want to talk about our next event?
Yeah, I can say a few words. Like, it's gonna be a Python event, Introduction to Python. So we'll focus mainly on introductory concepts of Python and programming as well. This is gonna be next Monday, and we're looking forward to meeting all of you.
Yeah, as he said, this is an event that's for beginners as well, so don't be scared of joining, even if you never used Python before. And yeah, we hope to see you guys there on Monday. If anyone has any questions, feel free to just pop them in the chat or just unmute yourself and ask them.
Okay, do you want to mention Discord as well?
Sure. If you guys have Discord and want to join our Discord channel, I think Federico is going to put in the chat.
Yeah. A second.
Usually we use the Discord platform for less formal events, so more of a social platform, and where, for example, now if you had some questions during this workshop, you can just pop up to Discord and just write us a message and we'll try explaining you. Or, I mean, if you guys want to, yeah, if you have requests for like things that you would want to add to your website next time, feel free to also just send us a message and just let us know, so we can put that into the next workshop. Thank you guys all for attending. It was really nice. I hope you guys learned something and enjoyed this workshop.
Thank you and have a good night.